today what we're going to be doing is installing the Stoptech Sport Brake Pads on this 2017 Ford Focus RS. Let's get to it.
Alright guys, so once you have the car jacked up and the front wheel removed, the first thing we're going to do is take our pin punch tool, which is going to be linked in the description below. You're going to take that and a hammer to the front face of your caliper and hammer it in to remove the pins from the rear. You're now going to need a 13mm to remove this bolt on the rear of the caliper. So once you have that bolt in the rear loosened, simply push in the springs and the bolt will simply slide out. Alright, so now you're going to take an 18mm to the two rear bolts that hold the caliper in place. So now that we have the caliper removed, we're going to take our piston compressor tool that's going to be linked in the description below. You're simply going to place this inside the caliper and torque it out, and it's going to push the pistons back into the caliper so that way we can put those new brake pads in. Now that our pistons are compressed, simply place back those two 18mm bolts so that way your caliper can be reattached. Then you're going to spray down your brake pads with any brake cleaner that you do find at your local auto parts store. I would also recommend that you spray down your rotors just in case there is any grime that did get on there while you were working in the relative area. Next, we're going to slide in our new brake pads like so, and make sure that you are inserting the brake pad that does have the silver clip on the inside. To finalize the job, we're going to place back that 13mm bolt that was attached with the spring and the two pins at the front face of the caliper to reinstall it. For the rears, you're going to begin by removing the two dust caps, and then you're going to take a 7mm Allen wrench key to the rear two bolts to loosen them. Next, we're going to take a flathead screwdriver with a towel, so this way we don't scratch the caliper paint. You're simply going to wedge that in on that front clip that is on the caliper. It's the retention clip. You're going to wedge that in and simply clip that off. Once the caliper is removed, we're going to take our caliper wind back toolkit, which is also going to be linked in the description. In our case, it was the size A tool bit that we used. You're going to simply place that onto the caliper. You're going to want to make sure that you line up the two pins that it has with the two pins that are located in the piston. You're simply going to attach that there, give it some tension, and then crank that so that way the piston can compress. Just as we did for the front, you're also going to take that brake cleaner and you're going to clean the new brake pads along with your rotors to make sure that there's no grime or brake dust on them. To finish the job off, we're going to place the new brake pads into place. Make sure that you're using the one with the silver spring towards the rear. Then you're simply going to place the caliper back into place. On the rotor, you're going to use that 7mm Allen wrench key to bolt the caliper back on into place. You're going to put back that spring in the front, and you also want to make sure that you don't forget to put on your dust caps.
Alright guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed our video on the Stoptech Sport Brake Pads on the Ford Focus RS. Like and subscribe for more content. I'll see you in the next video.